Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went there, or struggled to recall the name of someone you've known for years, feeling that frustrating fog settle over your mind like an unwelcome visitor? If you're over 60, you've probably been told this is just part of aging, something you simply have to accept. But what if I told you that your brain possesses a remarkable ability to repair and restore itself while you sleep, and that 4 ordinary foods sitting in your kitchen right now could activate this natural healing process tonight? The truth that's been hiding in plain sight is this: your brain doesn't have to deteriorate with age. While pharmaceutical companies spend billions developing memory medications with questionable results and concerning side effects, nature has already provided us with powerful tools that support your brain's innate capacity to maintain clarity, recall, and sharpness well into your later years. These aren't exotic superfoods from distant rainforests or expensive supplements that promise miracles. They're common, affordable foods that scientific research has proven can help restore memory function, particularly when consumed in the evening before your brain begins its nightly repair work. Tonight, while you sleep, your brain will be extraordinarily busy. It's clearing away toxic waste products that accumulate during waking hours, strengthening the connections between nerve cells that form your memories, and consolidating everything you learned and experienced today into long-term storage. This process happens every single night. But here's what most people don't realize. The quality and effectiveness of this overnight restoration depends heavily on whether your brain has the specific nutrients it needs to do this work properly. Let's talk about the first of these 4 remarkable foods: blueberries. These small, unassuming berries contain powerful compounds called flavonoids that act like a protective shield for your brain cells. Every moment you're alive, your brain cells are under attack from something called oxidative stress, which is essentially cellular rust that damages the delicate machinery inside each brain cell. This damage accumulates over time, contributing to that mental fog, those memory lapses, and that frustrating feeling of words being just out of reach when you need them. When you eat a handful of blueberries with your dinner or as an evening snack, those flavonoids go to work immediately. They don't just neutralize the harmful compounds causing oxidative stress. They actually improve communication between your brain cells, making it easier for them to send signals to each other. During the night, while you're sleeping, these compounds support the brain's natural cleanup crew, helping clear away the metabolic debris that interferes with clear thinking. Studies with older adults have shown that regular blueberry consumption leads to measurable improvements in memory. Recall, the kind of improvements that mean remembering your grandchild's teacher's name without that awkward pause, or recounting a cherished story without losing your train of thought halfway through. You don't need massive quantities. A small handful, maybe half a cup, consumed regularly in the evening, provides your brain with what it needs. Add them to a bowl of yogurt, mix them into oatmeal, or simply eat them plain while you're winding down for the evening. The key is consistency, making this a regular part of your routine rather than something you do occasionally when you remember. The second food that science has identified as remarkably beneficial for brain health is one that looks surprisingly similar to a brain itself: walnuts. This isn't just a curious coincidence. Walnuts are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, the same type found in fish oil supplements that people spend considerable money on, along with vitamin E and additional antioxidants that your brain desperately needs but often doesn't get in sufficient quantities from a typical diet. Your brain is nearly 60% fat, and the quality of the fats you consume directly impacts how well your brain functions. The omega-3 fatty acids in walnuts help maintain the flexible, healthy membranes around each brain cell that allow nutrients in and waste products out. They encourage the growth of new brain cells, a process that continues throughout your entire life, contrary to what we once believed, and they improve the way nerve cells communicate with each other. This improved communication translates directly into better memory formation and recall. But there's something else remarkable about walnuts that makes them particularly valuable for people concerned about memory loss. They help reduce mental fatigue and the kind of cognitive stress that makes thinking feel like wading through mud. Many people over 60 report that by mid-afternoon their mental energy is depleted, and by evening, complex thinking feels nearly impossible. Regular consumption of walnuts, particularly in the evening, provides your brain with sustained support that carries through the night and into the next day. A small handful after dinner, perhaps mixed into a salad or eaten alongside some fruit, gives your brain access to these crucial nutrients exactly when it needs them most, right before it begins its intensive overnight repair and consolidation work. Some people find that adding walnuts to their evening routine helps them wake up feeling mentally sharper, with better recall of dreams and a clearer sense of mental readiness for the day ahead. The third category of brain-supporting foods is one that many people know they should eat more of, but often neglect: leafy green vegetables like spinach, kale, and collard greens. These vegetables are concentrated sources of nutrients that specifically support the brain's nighttime repair processes. They contain vitamin K, which plays a crucial role in maintaining the fatty insulation around nerve fibers that allows electrical signals to travel quickly and efficiently. They're rich in lutein, a compound that accumulates in brain tissue and appears to protect against cognitive decline. They provide folate and beta-carotene, both of which support the brain's ability to clear away harmful plaque buildup that can interfere with memory and thinking. What makes leafy greens particularly valuable for evening consumption is how they support the brain's detoxification processes during sleep. Your brain has its own waste removal system that operates primarily at night, literally flushing toxins out through channels that expand during sleep. This system needs specific nutrients to function optimally, and leafy greens provide many of them. When you include these vegetables in your dinner or evening meal, you're essentially giving your brain's maintenance crew the tools they need to do thorough, effective work while you rest. The beauty of leafy greens is their versatility. You can sauté spinach with a little garlic as a side dish, add kale to a hearty soup or stew, include mixed greens in a salad with your dinner, or blend them into a smoothie if chewing raw vegetables has become difficult. The goal isn't to force yourself to eat foods you dislike, but to find ways to incorporate these nutrient-dense vegetables into meals you actually enjoy. Even a modest serving several times a week provides measurable benefits for brain health and memory function. The fourth and perhaps most powerful food for supporting brain health and memory restoration is fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and trout. These fish contain high concentrations of a specific type of omega-3 fatty acid called DHA, which is the primary structural fat in your brain. As we age, DHA levels in the brain naturally decline, and this decline is directly associated with memory problems and cognitive difficulties. When you consume fatty fish regularly, you're replenishing these crucial DHA stores, giving your brain the raw materials it needs to maintain and repair its structure. The research on fatty fish and brain health is remarkably compelling. Studies have shown that older adults who eat fatty fish 2 to 3 times per week score significantly higher on memory tests than those who rarely consume it. They report better recall, less mental fog, and greater confidence in their cognitive abilities. But there's another benefit that's equally important. The omega-3 fatty acids in fatty fish help regulate mood and reduce anxiety, both of which can interfere with quality sleep. Better sleep means more effective overnight brain restoration, creating a positive cycle where better nutrition leads to better sleep, which leads to better brain function, which makes it easier to maintain healthy habits. Including fatty fish in your dinner 2 or 3 times per week doesn't require elaborate preparation. Baked salmon with lemon and herbs, sardines on whole grain crackers, or grilled trout with vegetables all provide substantial amounts of brain-supporting DHA. If you've never been a fish eater, start with milder varieties and simple preparations. Your brain will begin benefiting from the very first serving, though consistent consumption over weeks and months produces the most dramatic improvements. Now, here's what makes this approach to supporting memory and brain health so different from medications or supplements. These 4 foods work with your body's natural processes rather than trying to force artificial changes. They provide your brain with nutrients it recognizes and knows how to use, supporting repair mechanisms that have been operating since you were born. There are no side effects, no concerning interactions, no expensive prescriptions to fill. Just whole natural foods that have nourished human brains for thousands of years. The timing of when you eat these foods matters, because your brain's most intensive repair and restoration work happens during sleep. When you consume blueberries, walnuts, leafy greens, and fatty fish in the evening, those nutrients are available exactly when your brain needs them most. Think of it like providing a construction crew with materials right before they start their shift. They can work more efficiently, complete more repairs, and produce better results when they have everything they need at hand. This doesn't mean you need to eat all four foods every single evening. That would be overwhelming and unsustainable. Instead, think about incorporating them regularly into your routine. Perhaps Monday and Thursday you have salmon for dinner with sautéed spinach. Tuesday evening you snack on walnuts and blueberries. Wednesday you make a salad with mixed greens and add some leftover fish. The pattern doesn't have to be rigid or perfect. Consistency matters more than perfection. Many people worry that changing their diet at this stage of life won't make a difference, that the damage is already done. But your brain is far more resilient and responsive than you've been led to believe. Studies have shown measurable improvements in memory and cognitive function within weeks of dietary changes, even in people who are already experiencing significant memory problems. Your brain cells are constantly being repaired and replaced. New connections are forming every day. The question isn't whether your brain can still improve, but whether you're going to give it what it needs to do so. Think about what better memory would mean for your daily life. Imagine telling stories to your grandchildren without those frustrating pauses where you can't quite find the word you need. Picture having conversations with old friends where names and dates come easily, where you can follow complex discussions without feeling lost or confused. Consider the confidence that comes from knowing your mind is sharp, that you're not going to embarrass yourself by forgetting something important, that you can still learn new things and remember them reliably. These aren't unrealistic fantasies. They're the everyday experiences of people who've taken simple steps to support their brain health through nutrition. The difference between struggling with memory loss and maintaining mental clarity often comes down to whether your brain has consistent access to the specific nutrients it needs to repair and maintain itself. You're not powerless against age-related cognitive decline. You have more control than you realize, and it starts with what you choose to eat. So tonight, before you go to sleep, make one small change. Add a handful of blueberries to your evening routine, or have a few walnuts with your dinner. Tomorrow, think about how you might include more leafy greens in your meals. This week, plan to prepare fatty fish once or twice. These aren't dramatic lifestyle overhauls that require massive willpower. They're gentle adjustments that honor your brain's needs and support its natural healing capacity. Your memory, your mental clarity, and your cognitive independence are worth protecting. They're what allow you to remain fully engaged with life, to maintain deep connections with people you love, to continue growing and learning, regardless of your age. Don't surrender these precious abilities because someone told you decline is inevitable. It isn't. Your brain is waiting for you to give it what it needs. Starting tonight, you can. If this information resonated with you, share it with someone who's concerned about their memory or cognitive health. Leave a comment telling us which of these 4 foods you're going to add to your evening routine this week. Your brain has been working tirelessly for you your entire life. Now it's time to return the favor.